Your Excellencies, the Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Food Security, Honorable Abubakar Kari, permit me at this point, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome our friends and family from different parts of the world that are here seated, and our members of the press. Permit me to kindly request that we have a little attention here, even as we're about to commence this very beautiful program. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, permit me to say that this evening we're here to celebrate something that is very important, not just to life, but of course to humanity. And to kickstart this program, to talk about skin, not just skin care, the Niger Med Skin Care Center here will be officially doing something very special, not just in Nigeria, but it's beyond that. And to summarize most of these things that are this evening, we have professionals that will do and take most of these things in specifics. Permit me to welcome, if your hands are not busy, the man to officially open this beautiful event, and the one and only, a professional of the skin. Let's welcome Dr. D to the microphone. Please, a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I climb up or do it here? It's okay. Hello everyone. Oops, too loud. Hello everyone. My name is Dr. Dan Malam. He said Dr. D, that's aka Dr. D because it's a lot easier. And I am the MD CEO of Niger Med Skin Care. I would like to thank everybody, welcome everybody, for taking your time out to attend this beautiful event, this important event to us. We thank God for giving us the opportunity to have this sort of event. An event where we will be launching two important machines in the treatment of skin. We have some guests. We have some professors. We have dermatologists. We have distinguished guests. But I would like to take opportunity to thank everybody for coming. We have some guests that came all the way from Europe because the lasers we are launching are Italian lasers. We have the person who is in charge in the company for Africa, he is around, Mr. Alex Bondi. Yes. We have our partner, the person who is in charge of our European Niger Med Europe. He is the MD of Niger Med Europe, Dr. Petio. And we have the MD of our Spanish office, so to say, Mr. Patterson from Collins Consulting. They are our guests. They came all the way from Europe. They arrived yesterday to celebrate with us. The two lasers we are launching today, eventually you would hear all about them. One of them is for the treatment of acne. Acne is the most common condition in young people. Over 80% of visits to dermatologists, the complaint is acne. It's an American invention produced by this Italian company. It's a 10-year process. It took them 10 years to produce this laser, research, production, and employment. So I am profoundly happy and glad that all of you have taken time out to come and join us in this celebration. I thank you very much, and I hope all of us would enjoy this precious moment, precious for us, precious for our patients, precious for everybody that is here, and even those that are not here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Permit me at this point, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Alex Bondi. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes up.
Hello everybody, buonasera. Some of you already knows me. I came last year the first time to Nigeria, and thanks to Dr. D, I would like to thank you, Dr. D, first of all. I came back to Abuja because in very few words, very simple words, we have a dream. And the dream is to bring to Africa the best technology, the best machines to treat the skin conditions. It was not easy. The project is very big. It's not only for Nigeria, it's for the whole African continent. And let me say a few words about Quanta Systems so you can understand who we are. We are a laser manufacturer. We are the number 1 in Europe. We are the number 3 in the world. And in very simple words, we love to play with light. We do everything with light because light is the most natural thing you can use to cure the skin, to cure yourself. And we concentrated our attentions on 2 technologies. Some of you will remember we launched the first technology last year in Lagos, the PIco, and it was the very first PIco in sub-Saharan Africa. And now, tonight, thanks to Dr. D, we are going to launch the Accure. The name of the machine is the Accure. It's the very first technology worldwide able to treat acne in a very effective way, just with light. And this is very important. So I think I have to say thank you to you, because thanks to you, we could realize our dream. Believe me, it's a big honor for me to speak from here. So once again, thank you everybody for coming, and enjoy the night.
Thank you very much. Thank you. A round of applause for Mr. Bondi. Thank you very much. That is the Italia, okay? Spaghetti and pasta. Milan. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, time is well spent, and we've got 4 professionals. We've got lots of you here, with all the details. But permit me to invite 4 people, like I gave you a heads up earlier before we start this. This is life, and the more beautiful things you say, especially about what you're going to say, it's going to go a long way. So ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome to the microphone Professor Olulu Abel as he comes over with a round of applause. You're welcome, sir.
So you tell me when my slides come. Okay.
Good evening, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be here this evening on the invitation of Dr. D and the Quanta Systems. It is an honor and privilege to be present in this very important launch, and it gives me opportunity to see many of my colleagues, both senior and junior, several junior dermatologists are here. Can I have my slides so that I can start? So talking about acne vulgaris, that one we all know simply as pimples, because I know there are many non-medical people here. Pimples is one of the commonest complaints we get in the various skin clinics all over. Most of them are mild. However, no matter how many there are, usually there's an accompanying psychosocial problem that make it very important, especially among young people. The social effects may far outweigh the physical impact of the disease. Therefore, anything that seeks to treat and cure pimples is highly welcome. So I'm sure this system is going to be very useful in dermatological practice. So like I said, pimples is a very common disease. It's of course the young people listening, people in the teenage years and early adulthood. And therefore, we see it as a problem. You see, when you get a young lady who is preparing to marry, and you have all these things on the face, they will come to the clinic and tell you, please get rid of this for me in the next few weeks before my wedding day. So I'm sure these new technologies are going to help dermatologists achieve this feat. It's common, and a lot of the time there are many factors responsible for this problem. To the extent that it's now looked on by many people as normal. So there are genetic factors, there are hormonal factors, there are possibly dietary factors that give rise to this problem. So people, as we know it, occurs almost in everybody. Only few are exempt in that age group, the teenagers and those surrounding periods, early adulthood. Occasionally we see the older people, especially those that are pregnancy related. The predisposing factors are many, like I said, family. When we say genetic, it means you tend to cluster in certain families. When we say hormonal, the upsurge in hormones at the onset of puberty, when there are changes in the body, where children become teenagers. The surge of hormones usually will precipitate these pimples. Some people, diet responsible, but we are professionals, we are not too sure of that. But some people, they say, when I eat granite, when I eat this, the pimple flare up. And moreover, certain conditions like pregnancy may precipitate pimples. Certain drugs like steroids can also precipitate a lot of pimples. And then you also have certain cosmetics. There are many cosmetics in the market. When you rub them on the body, it blocks the pores through which some of these chemicals come out, and they give rise to pimples. We call them comedogenic. Right. So this are my slides out now. So I'm talking about pimples. My name is Professor Onunu. I'm from the Federal University of Medical and Health Sciences, Kwale, in Delta State. I'm also incidentally, my pro-chancellor is here, Dr. Saris Ubanye. Please rise up for recognition. So the Federal University of Medical Sciences is heavily represented here. The pro-chancellor and the vice-chancellor were all here. So like I said, acne is it's a chronic disease affecting the pilosebaceous units. Pilosebaceous units are part of the skin. I will describe them later. So like I said, acne vulgaris is pimples. It's characterized by the presence on the skin of what we call commendals, papules, pustules, nodules. I will show you the pictures. And the result of obstruction of the pilosebaceous unit. These are the units where the sebum comes out from in the skin. The picture here shows complication of high-rise from pimples. Pimples occur not only on the face, they can appear on the chest and upper back. And when it's not properly treated, you can have this keloid, which is common in the African population, can arise, and this may be more difficult to treat than the pimple itself. Oh, I'll back. Yes, this is the diagram of the skin. The pilosebaceous units and dots. This is the glands, the dots, and this is the hair follicle coming out. So when you have blockage of this area, that one leads to the pimples forming at the top.
The slide is not going. I've already talked about this. So like I said, it's very common in our populations. In hospital-based studies, in Ghana, 4.6% of the young population are people coming for treatment for acne, and then in Mali 4.2, in South Africa 15.5. So like I mentioned earlier, genetic factors, hormonal, skin infections, and alcohol family history. Then the other factors I mentioned earlier to puberty, cosmetics, stress, diet, the genetics, irritation of the skin, pregnancy, sometimes a chemical occlusion from certain cosmetics. Usually the mechanisms, we talk of Haber seborrhea, there's increased production of sebum on the skin. Sebum is that oily will appear on the skin. And sometimes also, combined with this increased secretion, there's also abnormality in the sebum. All these together with increased thickness of that top layer of the skin leads to the blockage of those pores, the pili-sebaceous unit, and this leads to formation of what we call commandos. There are many different types, but usually we have two major types of acne, inflammatory and non-inflammatory. The inflammatory one is very more serious because it can lead to formation of cysts and nodules. This just illustrates the blockage. This is the normal ones, but here you see excess production of sebum, and this leads to blockage. You can see it here. What we call white heads and black heads. These are the open ones, and these are the closed ones. So these are the responsible for the lesion you see on the skin. Some look black, some look whitish. In terms of severity, from 1 to 5. The severe wounds are the inflammatory wounds, where you have nodules and cysts. I will just show you a picture. You see the nodules on the face, the white heads, the black heads. This is an example of a mild acne or mild pimples. And the second one, this is more severe, although this picture doesn't look very clear here. But you can see, in addition to the nodules and cysts, you can see change in color. If you're not properly treated, this is the type that is to scarring. And in blacks, you may even need to keloid formation. So to summarize, the disease acne or pimples arises from blockage of these units on the skin, pili-sebaceous. Mechanisms: increased sebum production, altered sebum quality, all these lead to alteration in the bioactive function, and all these lead to hyperkeratinization, increased thickness of that top layer of the skin, and this leads to inflammation. So I thank you.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Professor Onwebo. Thank you very much, sir. That was really beautiful and straightforward. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this point to welcome next on the presentation. And I would like to please emphasize so that we talk about more of what the machine solves, the problems that this machine solves, so that it makes a lot of sense. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Iziagi Anaba. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as she comes over. And she's coming over. I was giving them the ginger to keep clapping until you come up here. Keep rolling, ladies and gentlemen, keep rolling. No, you know, this is my English now, cramming.
We fit on grammar. We fit on grammar. When you fit cramming, we fit on grammar. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ehage Anaba. My slide, please. I have a very simple task. Well, I have a very simple task. Just to describe the kind of scars that we can have. So I'm waiting for the slides. So typically, when you have an injury or anything happens to the skin, we are aware of the fact that you have to heal. So if you have a cut, it has to seal up, it has to heal. You hit your hand somewhere, it's swollen, it has to heal. Now, in that process of healing, Oh, thank you. My name hasn't changed. I can't move the slides. All right. So in that process of healing, it can go wrong. Okay? So typically, scars come as a result of the body trying to repair something. So there will be a destruction of the normal because now there's an injury. And following that destruction of the normal, the body is trying to repair it. Sometimes the body does oversabi and repairs beyond what it is required to do. Because of this, you end up having different types of scars. All right, so we're going to discuss those scars now. And these injuries differ. So it can be that there was a cut or you have an inflammation, like you have acne. Acne is not the only inflammation we have. Just like somebody's shaving and then they have a cut. Or somebody has a surgery. Then all of this will result in scars. So the first one we're going to talk about is the hypertrophic scars. So with hypertrophic scars, the body has done the wasabi. Who sent you? So the body is laying down too much collagen. And because of this, you have this very thick skin. There's a change and it can become itchy and it's swollen. We all get to see people with that. Okay? Next, please. So that's a picture. You can see that different. So this is somebody who's had acne. That's the picture in the middle. So you have acne with keloid forming, and then those people just had different injuries with keloid forming. And typically, when you have keloid forming, it goes beyond the area of the injury. So you have a small injury, and then you now have this huge thing occurring there. Please, next. Then we have another type of scar. This time around, the body has refused to do any work. So in the course of repairing this injury, the body is not making enough collagen. Because of that, you now have this area of skin that looks like it's depressed. So we all tend to see people who have had chicken pox or you've had acne. You'd see these holes in the skin, so to speak. Or you've had a cut and somewhere along the line you look, the skin doesn't look even. It looks like one part of the skin has gone in. So that's an atrophic scar. So that's what we're looking at here. So you can see this is these two people with acne. That person had a procedure and in the process they had that. Okay? Now we can have another one called stretch marks. And that's a big thing. Stretch marks occur for various reasons. So a young child growing up, that sudden growth spot, then you have stretch marks. Somebody's having a pregnancy, you have stretch marks. Somebody's rubbing something on the skin, stretch marks. And now, why do the stretch marks occur? Typically in the skin, there are different layers of the skin. We are talking about the dermis. Everybody's shouting dermis on TikTok and social media. It's the dermis. That's the muscle of the skin. That gives you the structure of the skin. So when there's a tear in the collagen is what gives that dermis that structure. So when there's a tear in the collagen or there's a tear in the elastic fibers, then you have striae. And the main reason why we have to talk about striae is so physiological. Somebody's having the pregnancy, somebody's growing. Then of course all our brothers that are lifting dead weight, you know, the men, they want to have this, their V shape, then they have the stretch marks, okay? Then we now come to people who are rubbing all kinds of things, especially steroids, triple action. So that's just going to lead to a weakening of the collagen and the elastic fibers, and then you end up with stretch marks, striae. So my duty is just to tell you about different scars. Dr. D is going to tell you about the treatment. So we're looking at the striae. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's appreciate her more. Thank you very much, Dr. Yagi Annaba. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome next as we have Dr. Zainab Baba as she comes up for the next presentation. Please a round of applause for her. Dr. Zainab Baba. You know, we have Baba,
We have Baba. Baba is big, and Baba is father. Please a round of applause for her.
Good evening, everyone. I wasn't too sure if yes, I do. Sorry. You know, speaking after my exam assessor, Prof. Onunu, my teacher, Dr. Anaba, it's not easy to come and stand on the same stage with them. But all the same, we have to do it because they trained us. So I was meant to talk about hyperpigmentation. Okay, just the basics. So sorry, I have to repronounce my name is Zainab Baba, not Baba. Thank you so much. So just briefly, hyperpigmentation, what is hyperpigmentation? It just means darkening of the skin and due to excess melanin. Melanin is the pigment that we have, and more so especially in the dark skin. That's what makes our own skin dark compared to the white people. So it's common in everyone, especially more prevalent in the dark skin types. That's our own kind of population, which is usually like from type, type 6. When you take the classification of skin phototypes, it's not a killer, so it's not fatal, but it causes a lot of psychological distress, and it's very important to identify, recognize, and take care of it. So there are many types, many things cause hyperpigmentation. Commonly post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. What this means is that whenever you have an injury, just like Dr. Anaba said, the skin heals. And when it's about healing, it like calls help from the pigment cells, which are the melanin, and that is what gives about the dark spots, which is the hyperpigmentation. And this can occur in different skin conditions, from eczema, acne, or even just simple skin injury. It can come from, it can occur as a result in conditions like melasma, which is due to hormones and then sun exposure. Solar lentigines also, especially in the white population, you know, they have this kind of dark spots. Some call them freckles and so on. So it's also a kind of post-inflammatory it's also a kind of hyperpigmentation. Then drugs also, which are very important, like the likes of anti-malarials, people undergoing chemotherapy for cancer treatment. Sometimes you see them turning dark. This is all because of hyperpigmentation. It can occur in patients with obesity. Sometimes you notice that maybe the skin of the neck, the underarms, and some places are really dark. That is what we call acanthosis nigricans. It's just as a result of thickening of the skin. This is also a form of hyperpigmentation. It can occur in, these are all maybe like a localized form of hyperpigmentation, but it can occur throughout the body in diseases like something we call Addison's disease. You know, it can involve the whole body, but there is a way we use to, we do some tests, and then clinically we also look at some regions of the body where the pigmentation is more emphasized, like the creases of the hand, the buccal mucosa, and so on, for us to really know if it is maybe Addison's disease, and we help the patients with that. So yes, this is just, you can see the darkening, the spots. Sorry. Oh no. Okay, anyway, you can appreciate the dark patches on the skin of this patient. She had a skin condition, and it has healed with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. This is also a patient with acne, and I know most of us have seen similar things, and we might end up telling our relatives, especially family and friends, who are very good at that, you know, rub this, rub that, and that is the beginning of mostly the problem, instead of referring them maybe to see the specialist that could take care of this kind of problem for them. Then this one too, sun-induced. You know, you can look at, if you look at it from up there, the skin is dark, while from the breast down, I didn't have the full, I couldn't upload the full picture. You know, the skin down is actually light. So that shows you that the exposure to the sun is what is bringing the injury to the skin, and the skin is healing by hyperpigmentation. So mostly, I've mentioned earlier, is as a result of the overproduction or irregular distribution of the melanin, which can be triggered by either sun exposure, inflammation, or hormonal factors, and is most common in our kind of patients. There are so many things to look at when you have hyperpigmentation, when it started, what are the triggers, whether the patient is on medication, the relationship with sun exposure. Some are outdoor persons. You have to know what they are using, and then how their occupation is, so that you can help them better. You have to look at the distribution of the rash, whether it's in a sun-exposed area, so that you can address that component of it. There are some other things that we use to identify whether it is a superficial hyperpigmentation or is deep, because the treatment also matters when you have a hyperpigmentation. Other things, we have many treatment options to consider, like topical agents, the likes of hydroquinone, azelaic acid, retinoids. Of course, I'm not advocating that we do this kind of things, but I'm trying to just prompt our minds that there are things we use, like topical agents, which should be done under prescription. Then procedures, a lot of people now are into doing chemical pills randomly as they wish. There are treatment options, but at the same time, when done wrongly, they can lead to hyperpigmentation, and that could become a big problem. Then laser treatment is also another option, and today we'll be talking about the way to handle hyperpigmentation with lasers. Then general measures that you have to tell the individual, like sun protection or sun avoidance. Of course, we have to educate our patients, avoid picking, because that also induces more injury and inflammation, and it will heal with hyperpigmentation. Then always patients should have realistic expectations. This treatment for hyperpigmentation is not magical. It's something that takes weeks to months to improve. So it's very important to adhere to treatment plan. Hyperpigmentation in summary is common, is multifactorial, and proper assessment guides safe and effective treatment. And then we may need combination therapy sometimes to achieve good results. And patient education and sun protection actually improves outcome. Thank you very much.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Zainab Babba. That was really splendid. All of the information is provided here, upstage here, are key. And in case you're watching this live, we have a summary of the 4 presentations made here, or 3 presentations made here. And just to let you know that Dr. D is coming up to do this. And this is all about skincare. Let's welcome Dr. D to summarize all of this so we can talk about more solutions. Please a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to the brain behind this beautiful movement.
Thank you very much. First, I would like to apologize to non-medicals for, doctors, most times we can talk and bore you guys and so on and so forth. Sorry? No. So, what I would want to do now is to try and translate a few of the things they mentioned and to highlight the essence of the gathering we have today. Now, the whole idea is for us the professionals, to put out the problems that we would want to treat with these machines. The first professor spoke about acne. Now, in a nutshell, what he was trying to say is that acne is a result of excess oil on the skin. This oil blocks some holes that we have on the skin, and then pimples come up because there is a reaction by the body, there's a bacteria that is there are other things that happen. And the whole idea is for us to know that acne is formed because there's excess sebum that's been blocked. And the laser we're going to present today, Accure, for the treatment of acne, exactly takes care of that. Simple. The other presentation is about scar. How is a scar formed? Scars are different, depressed, those that are thick, stretch marks. And the whole idea is we have a scar, we have stretch mark, we have acne scar, we have hypertrophic, and here we have what we're presenting, what we're launching today, the PIco laser. And it helps to improve that. The last one is hyperpigmentation, darkening. Sunburn, I mean, they call it sunburn, different kinds of sunburn. We have different sorts of hyperpigmentation for one reason or another. So the whole idea of presenting and explaining to you, sometimes in our medical terms, but in simple terms is darkening of the skin, is to let you know that the laser we're presenting, the one of the two, the PIco again, helps to improve these conditions. So that's the whole gist of the matter. We would want to present a problem and give you a solution in the form of this laser that we're presenting. At the end of the show, at the end of the launching, I'm going to show you some slides of before and after. These slides include all the problems they have mentioned and how we have managed to start treating them with these lasers and what results we already have, which are very, very promising. Now, at this stage, I think it's about time. Where is the MC? MC. Oh, so I think we have arrived at the junction where we bring in the machines. So we'd like to bring in the machines, show you the machines, launch the machines practically, and then we would continue because we have to talk more about the machines. We have a video that would play on and is going to discuss what the PIco. So actually there are two machines, let me not confuse you. One is called Accure, from acne cure, so it's called Accure. The other one is called Discovery PIco, and is the one that does the hyperpigmentation, the tattoos, the stretch marks, the scars, and so on and so forth. So we're having the two. We would bring the two, and then we would continue with our presentation by telling you the difference between the two and what each one of them does. Thank you very much. So the MC has just reminded me, or told me, I mean it's his job, that we would need to invite a few of our guests to come as the machines come in so that practically we can launch it together. I would like to invite Mr. Bondi from Quanta System, Professor Onunu, but first I am sorry, I apologize, I'm not following the right protocol. Honorable Minister, I would appreciate, highly appreciate, if you can, you are here already, sir, if you can just participate, sir, you are already here. Dr. Kiari, please come along so that we can participate. You are the boss of all doctors here, so please come along. So, they are here. What do you expect them to? Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just like how we present and usher in, brides, grooms, on their wedding day, this is special. This is one in Africa. And so, ladies and gentlemen, just as the CEO mentioned, permit me to welcome our one and only machine. If we are good, please can we do that, please? One is coming from the rear and one is coming from here. And so there are two special machines, so we don't want to put them together. Everybody has his own separate job, but they are brothers. So somebody play something and let's move the machines. Move it. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the city of Abuja, permit me with a round of applause, if you can, to whom honor is due. Can we just have a little standing ovation to request as we welcome, ladies and gentlemen, all the way. You know, this is how they bring the women. You have to prepare well. Ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome the one and only functioning once and the first in Africa, the PIco, and of course the Accure. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, if you can just watch as we're being named the Accure. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the one and only, the first in Africa. Somebody give this thing a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Jama Atapa Atapa. Wow, somebody say wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the Accure machines live in Abuja City, the first in Africa. That's all. The solution to all the skincare in Nigeria, in Africa, wherever you are. And if you're watching this, ladies and gentlemen, as they have been presented to you live here in Abuja City, the Discovery people, and of course, the Accure. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. And we're going to be doing this. I want to appreciate my special guest. We're going to ask you to take their walk down the steps. Thank you, sir. When you see the Accure and the Discovery people, is worth giving them a domain. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to take the superb, and so ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready with a round of applause as we unveil, ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise as we unveil the Discovery picture, the Accure, the solution to skincare, ladies and gentlemen, in Nigeria and Africa. And of course, subsequently, with Discovery people alongside. Please a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. You can take your seats. Please, we only allow... Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Thank you. Please don't snap these machines with any second new phone. It has to be iPhone from 12 Pro Max.
Thank you very much. This is such a joyous and wonderful occasion. I mean, look at them. This is the Accure and this is the Discovery PIco. And we look forward to using them and giving excellent results as they have promised. Thank you very much. We would continue with the presentation of this product on the screen while we eat.
Well, you want me to speak? Well, good evening, everyone. Actually, I just got the invitation very late, and I had to rush. But when I heard that these two machines will be the first in Africa, I couldn't resist but to come and share the joy with my brother, Dr. Amalam, as I heard, well, Dr. D, as everybody keeps calling him. I'm quite excited because I think we have a major skin problem around Africa. And I'm sure this will be a real big success story. And congratulations for being the pacer and the pace setter to this remarkable profession that you wonderfully do. So I wish you all the best and wish everybody, this is what all of us probably would need, because I have a problem, pigmentation. I think everybody does. So congratulations for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Go ahead, please. Introduce yourself.
Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, Honorable Minister. I'm Fatima Carey, Professor of Ophthalmology, Regulator of the Medical Professions in Nigeria. We are really excited that Dr. Bashir, my brother at Amalam, is a pace setter really in dermatology. When he was going dermatology, I was going ophthalmology, and we were like, okay, so what's this thing about skin? But we have seen he has clearly distinguished himself in this profession, and he is keeping people prima donnas. But most especially, what I want to tell you is that dermatologists are physicians. They are medical doctors who have trained as skin specialists. And there are certain procedures that must only be performed by physicians, dermatologists. I would like you to be very mindful of that, because we have had so many issues of quackery and people who have not been trained to do skin that are doing skin. So anything that has a name like laser or dermabrasion, anything that would disrupt the skin, or injections or fillers or Botox, what's the other? They are supposed to be performed only by doctors who are dermatologists. If you want these procedures and you go somewhere, please make sure that the person performing is a doctor. Otherwise, if there are complications, you will have nowhere to report to, and you will have nowhere to seek justice. But if there are doctors and there are complications, then we can deal with it. Otherwise, it will be a criminal offense. I had to say that because for ladies to seek, or for anyone looking for skincare, should please go to the right person so that we can avoid complications. Congratulations, Dr. Bashir. Congratulations. This is a marvelous thing. I think this is the best thing that can happen. We're always excited when we have new things coming into Africa, and especially if there is a program or a system of introducing more and more and more. Thank you very much. And it will help a lot of our young ladies psychologically and also physically. Thank you. Say something.
You don't want to say something?
The Honorable Minister, all protocols observed. This is a day I'm very happy. The dream we have been pursuing for dermatological practice in Nigeria is coming to fruition. Dr. D, congratulations. Mr. Pondi, congratulations for introducing this new technology to Africa. For my colleagues, this is one of the things me and Dr. Malam has been discussing and looking forward to bridge that gap between the academia and the industry. And Dr. D has been the prime mover for this project. Because for us to develop, there has to be some synergy, some collaboration between the academia and the industry. The academia will be the brain, they will bring the ideas, but you need the industry to bring the funds to make those things come to fruition. And we have our plans to take this to a higher level. So this is just the beginning. Hopefully, as we develop, as our economy expands, more technology transfer is going to occur, and we'll raise our practice from the rudimentary practice of just clinical dermatology to the fast evolving field of aesthetic medicine. Because as professionals, that is where our population is heading towards. We have a developing population, we have a population that is getting very enlightened, we have a population that now see their skin not just as the skin, but as an asset. And we are dermatologists, we are physicians, have to prepare for that population. And we need the technology, and we need the support of the industry to do so. So that's the reason I congratulate Dr. D and Quanta System for being in the vanguard of this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, all. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our special guest for this beautiful presentation. Meanwhile, the machines are going to remain here. Yes, because this is first of its kind. At least I've touched the first of its kind in Africa. At least it's in my portfolio. It's in my portfolio. It's a guy. I came here to Abuja. I came for a program. I am from Open Note, and I was able to touch a machine that is supposed to be a kind in Africa. Huh? Thank you very much. So you might want to come later when refreshments going round. You could just come around, take a look at it. And most especially, it's important that we know that referrals is very important. A lot of people may know about this, but it's good to talk about it. It's good to make referrals. That is the best way we can get to disseminate this information. Just like what my very distinct honorable minister mentioned, that it's important that these things are done, and it's an issue that people have. Maybe they don't want to come out and talk about it. So thank you very much, Mr. Pondi. When you go back to Italia, more machines for this, okay? Yeah. Okay. Promise. So ladies and gentlemen, next we're going to be having the before and after, okay? The before and after, and I'm still going to call back okay. Oh, yes. Excuse me. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, now we're going straight to the multimedia. This is where you get to watch what these machines do and what it can solve. And right after that, we'll take the before and after. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the Discovery PIco and the Accure.
but also durable. Good evening and welcome.
Can we dim the lights if
Accure
just in case?
Acne Laser
Thank
Talk
you.
webinar. I'm Dr. Barry Levine. I'm a board-certified dermatologist with almost 3 decades of experience. I'm also the medical director of Refine Aesthetic Center, and I wanted to announce tonight that we have a new tool in our belt to help treat and fight acne. There's a so-called new light in the fight to treat acne. We're extremely excited about this, and we wanted to introduce this to our patients and people in this area. As many of you know, acne affects many people. It affects various body areas, and it can cause pain and discomfort, as well as leave scarring. It can greatly affect people. Over the years, we've had many treatments for acne, aiming at different areas of where acne is formed. However, this is a great breakthrough in technology to help treat that. And I can tell you that I'm extremely excited about this technology, and I'm also excited to be one of the first in the country to offer this to our patients. Dr. Rox Anderson, and he describes it a little bit more. Him and his colleagues with Dr. Sakamoto and their other team members spent many years developing and perfecting this technology.
Around the late 90s, I looked in the mirror and said, I want to cure acne. I don't care how I do it, I just want to do it. I'm Rox Anderson. I'm a professor of dermatology at Harvard Medical School. I practice at Mass General Hospital, and I am the director of the Wellman Center for Photomedicine, which is the world's largest lab where we study light. The Wellman Center itself has launched a lot of things that are now helping people. Starting a long time ago, we figured out that pulses of light could be used to selectively target microscopic things inside of tissue. And what got me started was taking care of kids with port wine stains. We made laser tattoo removal, we invented laser hair removal in the mid-90s. We also occasions. Laser technology has really moved forward. I'm happy to talk about acne. Sadly, it's still the #1 skin disease. And I say sadly because there's been a lot of brilliant work that's gone on. We have drugs, we have an understanding of what's going on with what causes acne. It's still very common. It's a pesky problem. The drugs have significant side effects and it interferes with social life. It's also the #1 cause of scarring on the face. The story with Accure starts really with the people that are currently running that company. I had this stuff in my head about wanting to come up with a laser that would actually work for treating acne. And Christopher Carlton and his colleagues literally showed up one day and said, Rox, what would you like to do? It was a carte blanche. And I said, let's cure acne. It wasn't clear at first, can we pull this off? Can we get enough power, the right pulse duration? We had to figure out a sequence of optical pulses that would target the gland safely and effectively. A few twists and turns along the road, but then we finally got where we're going. The Accure laser is doing its job. It's doing it within a fairly narrow window of efficacy and safety. The efficacy of this laser to come in a fairly short time, you realize it's 3 or 4 treatments spaced a month apart. This laser is in a way colorblind. So many of the lasers are difficult to treat people of color because they're at wavelengths that are absorbed by melanin. This wavelength is not absorbed at all by melanin. So I think you will see a wide spectrum of benefit across the skin types. I think of durability as just simply how long does a treatment that's effective really work? And I think the answer will be that this is very durable response. A lifetime of acne scarring is a big deal, so I view this as preventative, which is another form of durability. My experience in the past has been that if you come up with something that really works, and it's brand new, and we don't have it, that somehow the world organizes itself in a way that allows it to get out the door. And that's I think going to happen.
So when you look at acne, I think it's important to understand how acne happens or is formed. So when you look at the skin, acne is much more common in areas where we have increased sebaceous glands like the face, the neck, the chest. And the sebaceous glands are the oil-secreting glands that make a product called sebum, which moves up our follicles and comes out on the skin and has a good purpose because it helps lubricate the skin, which we all need. It comes out through that opening along the pore, and as time goes on, we do have shedding of these epithelial cells along this follicle, and normally they migrate nicely up to the top. However, there are times when these pores can get clogged and they can trap that sebum in there, which causes acne. In addition to that clogging, you also have bacteria on the skin that migrate down this follicle, and when they get involved and intermixed with the sebum, create significant inflammation, and that's where you get the redness and the discomfort that comes with acne. So depending on the level where you plug along the follicle, you can have things like whiteheads. If it's more superficial, the keratin can get oxidized and give you the so-called blackhead. As there's more inflammation, you can also get pustules, or sometimes you can get the deep cysts. The more inflammation, the deeper it is, the more chance that you have at scarring. So over the years, we've had many treatments, topical treatments, pills, various things, to work on the different levels, such as the plugging, the bacteria, the inflammation, and all of them have a role. But as most of you know, you have to be on those for many years sometimes. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And this is the first time where we've really been able to use something to greatly target the sebaceous gland and try and get a long-term result. Now, we do have a medicine called Accutane that does work some on the sebaceous glands, and it does work for acne, and it's been the gold standard for. So when you are using this laser, the laser comes on the epidermis. It has a special handpiece, and when it cools the epidermis to a certain temperature, the laser beam is emitted in pulses to target just the oil-secreting glands in the area. And as you can see from that schematic, the epidermis, the outer layer of the skin, and the dermis are protected from this cooling mechanism, so you're not creating problems such as scar tissue. And so you're putting all the energy where it needs to go. And that is where they spent most of their time doing the research. So if you look at it, they studied this, and in their clinical studies, they showed significant improvement in these patients. Generally, it's done as 4 treatments, and what they noticed that after the first treatment, and that's to make sure that we have adequate treatment of all the areas that need to be treated. So it's all mapped out with a grid. Protective eyewear is placed on the patient as well as all the staff, and all safety protocols are utilized. We then start the treatment, and we follow out this grid pattern to make sure that we're evenly treating all these areas. A treatment takes approximately, depending on the area, approximately 45 minutes or so. The nice thing about this laser is that we can use it in almost all skin types, which is very exciting. And the reason is the energy is being transmitted down deeper where the sebaceous glands are, and we're protecting the epidermis, so we don't have to worry as much about pigmentary changes as some of the lasers. This is just another example, and again, this is a darker skinned individual. You can see pretty significant improvement after 4 treatments. We're going to have time then for a few questions and answer. I'm going to put on my glasses as they come in. So the question is, how long do the results last? Well, we know from the clinical trials that it's approximately 3 years at this point. And the reason we know that it's 3 years is because that's how long the study's been. So that's as long as I can tell you, but what it appears is the results are durable, and it should be long-lasting results. There may be a few patients that may need some topical agents, longer term to, maybe even help make their skin look a little bit better, like using retin-A and stuff. But for the most part, it appears to be a durable, long-lasting result, which is quite exciting. The next question is, which areas can be treated? We can treat any area that is involved with acne. So most commonly it's the face, but we can treat the neck. We can treat the shoulder areas, the chest, or the back, all the areas that are acne prone. Now, the one important thing is that it would be very difficult to treat them all at the same setting because we do use a topical numbing medicine, and we have to be careful on the amounts that we use so we don't have any problems with like lidocaine toxicity. So we will have to be judicious in how many areas we can treat in one setting, but all those areas can be treated. The next question is, what is the discomfort level? So, as we all know, pain is subjective, and so everybody has different responses to pain. But in all the studies and in our clinical patients that we have treated, it tends to be mild discomfort. The average would be approximately a 3 out of 10 on the discomfort level for most people. Some people hardly have any. We do have other things that we do try to do as well as prior. So some people might take some Tylenol or sometimes even antihistamines prior. But most people find it very tolerable and do well with the treatments. The next question is, what restrictions are there after treatment? There really aren't any restrictions afterwards. You can kind of go back to your regular life. If you are using anything abrasive topically or irritating the skin, we'll have you hold those for up to a week. Our biggest concern is that you are careful in the sun. So if you're outside doing yard work, etc., that we would want to make sure that you're wearing good sunscreen and we're applying it, just because we don't want a lot of sun on those areas and get a sunburn, etc. So we would ask you to be very careful in the sun. Sometimes people can have a little bit of a mild acne flare for up to 48 to 72 hours. Not everybody, but some patients. So if you are going to a huge social function, you might not want to do it the next day, just in case you're one of those people. But most people can live their normal life without restrictions. It looks like that's what we have for all the questions for now, but again, if you have any other questions, you can put those in the chat box. Someone from our office will get back to you. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to us tonight. We are very excited about this technology. We're excited about helping people with acne because we think it'll make a very big difference in the lives of our patients. Thank you.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to let you know that, or rather continue from where he stopped. And just want to let you know that we'll show you exactly how the machine works. Somebody say, yeah, I still eating food. Y'all gonna watch how the Discovery PIco, how it works. So enjoy the show. ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Wow. Quickly, I would like to welcome Dr. Bashir to come and take the before and after. And we were just watching the videos, and I emphasize that there are certain things that perhaps maybe people may not really get. I really need to say those things when it comes up. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Bashir.
Thank you very much. So, what I would actually like to do, because the video of the PIco, I can see they only showed white skin, and I know would be wondering, this is just white skin. So what I want to do now is to show you our results with the laser, SEM laser, what we have done with it. We have discussed, you have had hyperpigmentation, scar, and so on and so forth. So we have some before and after pictures, real pictures, not Photoshop, real pictures with the result. This is one of our patients with a tribal mark. This was after 2 sessions of PIco. This was the left side, the right side, sorry. Can we have the other side? And this was the left side. The tribal mark. I know a few people who have something like that and they may wish to take it out. We are always ready and available if they ever want to take it out. The next slide, please. So this is one of the problems we have in Nigeria. After prolonged use of so many things, you end up having a low patch skin, dark patch here, lighter patch here. But this is one of the results of the Discovery PIco, and this is with hyperpigmentation. This is one side, the other side, this is the left, the right side, and this was the left side. Before and after. I'm really sorry the pictures are a little bit blurred because the screen is wider here. Next, please. So, a lot of people after surgery, it's very common now, it's very vogue to do lipo, tummy tuck, and some people end up developing scars. Like Dr. Anava said, there are different kinds of scars. So this was a scar before treatment. This was a scar after 2 sessions of PIco. Yes, you may have noticed that she has white patches. The white patches are as a result of the treatment we did. Because in this case, as the doctors would know, we had to do laser-assisted drug delivery. So we had to include that, and this is a side effect of the injection we gave, which would improve. But go back, please. But look at this scar up here. I don't know how visible it is the one that has shrunk to this, and the one here is the one here. Next slide, please. This is another scar before and after 2 sessions of PIco. There is no intralesional or topical steroid here, just PIco. Next slide, please. Acne scar, of course. A very debilitating condition. This is before, and this is after 1 session, actually. I even wanted to say 2. This was after 1 session. This is the other side of the same patient. So this is a surgical scar also, post-surgery, and look at how the scar has shrunk after 2 sessions. Another scar, 2 sessions. And yeah, so this is another one. I'm not really sure if the pictures are good enough, but I think it is visible that the difference is remarkable. We have the smaller version of the pictures. For anybody who wants to have them, we can send them to him so that they can actually appreciate the difference. This is another scar, hyperpigmentation. This is another scar, a surgical scar, and of course tattoo. This is after 1 session. This is the before, and this is after 1 session. I'm sure you can see that it's
There's difference between this one and this one. And in tattoos, of all the treatments, the scar treatment is not only done once. You have to do it once every month, maybe depending on the response, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions, depending on the response you get, and depending on the result. And of course, sometimes depending on whether the patient can pay more or not. This is the last one, right? Yes. So I just wanted you to have a feel about this. You have seen the before and after of the Accure. We don't have it yet because the Accure is brand new. We start using it in January, and we would have our results, but you've seen the results of other people who have been using it. Excuse me. And the PIco, we have been using the PIco, and these are the results of the PIco. And I'm sure eventually we would have a catalog of more results as we use them and improve on what we have gotten so far. Thank you very much. Now, if anybody has any question or any comment, it's open. I mean, you can ask. You don't have to be a doctor. You can be a patient. You can be somebody who has a patient, and you still want to ask a question over there. Do you have another mic? Yes.
Good evening all. I'd like to start by congratulating Dr. Bashir on this wonderful milestone for his business and for the rest of us who will be beneficiaries ultimately. I want to ask a question about the condition that somebody very close to me has been battling for many years now. It is called, forgive me, this is a very interesting medical term, hidradenitis suppurativa.
Okay.
Also known, I'm looking at the card.
It's hidradenitis suppurativa.
Also known as acne inversa. Acne, and we talk about acne all night. So, will this be the magic wand? Will this be the magic wand for this?
Yes.
Many years, 10, 15 years we've been struggling with this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your question. Hidradenitis suppurativa is not the same as acne vulgaris. And your question is very interesting because we have discussed that even amongst ourselves as doctors. The moment we hear treatment of acne, because hidradenitis also forms bumps, oozing, pain, and so on and so forth. So this laser, the Accure laser, does not treat hidradenitis suppurativa. For the main reason, the Accure laser treats, okay, so acne is a result of oil, excess oil. So there is a Dangote refinery somewhere, let me give you, that produces oil, and the laser works on that refinery alone. Hidradenitis suppurativa has a different reason for coming up. So this laser cannot treat that. Hidradenitis suppurativa is a very frustrating, debilitating condition, and it has different stages. It can start mildly as bumps. So what we do, part of the treatment we do when it is an early stage, we also use a laser, but a different laser from this two. We use the laser for hair removal. Because hidradenitis suppurativa, the condition is related to where the hair comes out. We don't want to bore everybody with what happened and how it happened, but generally, you take oral drugs and you do laser for hair removal. This laser does not help hidradenitis suppurativa. I hope it's a bit clear. Can you hear me? Yes, so we would wait for the next. They are already working on that because it affects more white people than black people. So for that reason, of course, they would stay awake and make sure they create something. Any other comment or question, please? Please, the floor is for everybody. don't be shy. I mean, you can ask whatever you want to ask. If I don't know the answer, I will tell you I don't know. Yes, okay. So there's a professor here that wants to. I forgot to say bon appetit. I hope the meal is.
Thank you very much. Dr. D, thank you for the excellent presentation along with your team. Going down to the grassroots, to the basics, how much does it cost?
That's a very good question. So you mean how much the machine costs or how much a procedure costs?
Both. So the machine is very expensive. These two machines as they stand here, we are looking at about somewhere between 350 to 400,000 euros. Now, that aside, when you have the machine, you start the procedure. So our idea, and that is why Mr. Alex said we have a Project Africa, and Professor Onunu mentioned that. Our idea is to bring into Nigeria these expensive machines and ask Nigerians to pay Nigerian price. So let me give you an example. In Europe or in the US, one session of the Accure is about $1,000. So for 4 sessions, $4,000. But we cannot, even when we are drunk and dream, ask Nigerians to pay that. So our intention is to reduce it remarkably so that Nigerians can benefit from a world-class treatment at an affordable rate. Yes. Does that answer your question? Or do you still want a figure? Thank you. Any other question or comment? Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm Abel Lamun. Mine is actually a fear. Is there any way we are going to prevent Nigerians from using the ones for treating hyperpigmentation from bleaching their skin?
Very much, Prof. Coincidentally, I was at one of the TV stations here present, Global TV. And each time I go to the TV station or radio station, the same question pops up about bleaching. So bleaching, I think, is a pandemic, maybe an epidemic, maybe a local thing, not only in Nigeria, but in other African countries. I always mention it's a paradox. White people want to be black, black people want to be white. So we always say it as doctors, the consequences of bleaching. One of the consequences is one of the patients that I showed with a dark patch. Bleaching constitutes a health hazard. The skin is the largest organ of the body. It is the protector of the body. It is the iron armor of the body. So if you harm your skin, in effect you are harming the rest of your body. The second thing is whatever goes into the skin can be absorbed and it can affect your other organs, your kidney, your liver. But the most important thing is it is even obvious. You bleach, then you have a rebound effect because whatever you use reaches tachyphylaxis. That means it cannot go beyond that and then comes back. Now, some of the problems we have, I was talking with the head of all the doctors in Nigeria and we talk about that. Some of the problems we have are regulatory problems. You and I cannot do anything about it. Our job is to try to enlighten patients and otherwise about the effects of bleaching, the consequences of bleaching. Your skin will thin out. Your skin will become so fragile that you may not be able to be treated, and so many other consequences that you know better than I do about bleaching. So it's a thing, and it's something that we sleep with, we wake up with as a problem to us, and we can't stop talking about it. Sometimes you are surprised even doctors come to you with bleaching creams. Yes. So it's something that is a huge problem.
We just need to continue talking about it, and maybe someday something may happen. Now they are exporting Nigerian bleaching creams to other African countries. Yes, and it's a pandemic, truly. I think we just need to try and do our best. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. So now we've gone to bleaching. Actually, this week, it's still this week. This week, that's on Tuesday, the Nigerian Association of Dermatologists actually launched a campaign on anti-bleaching. That's skin bleaching now. You know, now you can bleach your hair, bleach everywhere, but we are more concerned about bleaching the skin. So we have a campaign ongoing to stop skin bleaching.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other comment? Oh, okay, there's somebody there.
Okay, in terms of reducing sebum production long term, is the Accure laser preferred or rather compared to isotretinoin?
So in the presentation of Accure, the doctor mentioned that Accure was specifically, part of the advantages is to make sure, to stop people from using isotretinoin. Isotretinoin has a lot of side effects, and the Accure works on the same level or even better than isotretinoin without those side effects. I think the doctor mentioned it in the presentation. Yes. So when you are thinking of taking isotretinoin, you may consider doing the Accure. Yes. Any other question or comment? So I can get off. Okay, so one of the doctors is asking if we can partner, because of the cost, if we can partner with teaching hospitals or institutions so that at least these lasers can be available in these institutions. Yes, of course, it depends on the type of partnership. It depends on how much money the institution is going to come up with. And I believe most of the institutions are supposed to be rich, because teaching hospitals are centers of excellence. But yes, it's something we can consider depending on what they can come up with. We have the quantum manager for Africa here, and it's something we can discuss. They are willing and really ready to help us, but of course there are limitations. Yes. Any other comment or question?
Good evening. My question is to Niger-made skincare and Quanta system. Seeing that you have brought new technology into Nigeria, what are your plans in terms of maintenance of the equipment that are based in Nigeria? Thank you.
So we are the sole distributors for Quanta lasers, and coincidentally you're asking a question which is in progression. We are having new engineers being trained that service these lasers, that attend to any problem that comes up with these lasers. Unfortunately, because of the difficulty in for Nigerians to get visas to Europe, we have had to make arrangement for the training engineers to come to Nigeria, and that is what we are doing. Eventually, one day, they may get visas and they may travel to Italy, because the thing is with Quanta, you can send your engineer to spend a week, 2 weeks in Quanta and learn everything about fixing the lasers. That is one of their benefits. That is one of their principles, to train. But unfortunately, not everybody can get a visa to travel to Europe from Nigeria, especially when you are young. But we have found a way around solving that problem. And thank you very much for asking that question. Yes.
Okay.
There's somebody there.
Okay. My question is, when we have patients that are already on isotretinoin, there are some certain treatments we can't do for them till. So when it comes to Accure laser, is there any concern about that? Do they have to stop, or can you just do a combination treatment?
So you can do Accure laser 1 week after isotretinoin. Yes. And besides, your patient would be happier with you when you start the Accure. They would not have all the side effects of isotretinoin. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. D. I just want to find out which is it all aspects of acne lesions that Accure can treat? Comedones, papules, nodules, cysts. Which particular ones does it do?
So yes, it cures everything from papules to pustules to nodules to nodulocystic, everything, all stages of acne, except of course where there is only seborrhea without lesions. But otherwise, and even in that case, if you have excess sebum, the Accure can fix it, because the whole idea, it works on the sebaceous gland. And that is the precursor of everything. Yeah. Any other question or comment?